Hi there guys, Sam here. Happy New Year. Welcome back to the channel for 2019. Yeah, we all got through it. You join me once again in the Golf R for just another bit of an update video really on the Golf R, and just talking around sort of like a few general topics. But yeah, first of all, I'll get straight into it. So start of the year, just over sort of nearly up to 15,800 miles now. Fuel wise, it's been quite good. I mean, I think I've noticed myself driving it quite a little bit harder, but I'm sort of averaging sort of like over sort of 33 mpgs. You can see on the screen the current sort of update, which I think is actually pretty good. You can sort of almost get nearly 400 miles out of a tank, and that's been driving it relatively hard. And the car's obviously been great. Thoroughly enjoying it, and if you're new to the channel, this is generally what it's about, just a little bit around the Golf R. I've sort of owned it for a year and a half now. Plenty of videos, and I will encourage people to go back and check through if you're looking to get a Golf R, or you want to know a little bit more about a Golf R. Even some of my older videos from sort of like last year, they should still be relevant, and they're still useful for people looking for a Golf R. I've spent a little bit of time in a different car on one or two longer journeys. And it's only when you sort of have a little bit of time away from a car such as this, and then you realise some of like the qualities that it has. It's only when it's gone where you kind of notice it, which is always a bit strange. But yeah, I guess I kind of forget that this car is, a fair bit lowered. It's quite a focused car and can obviously go around corners, and 300 brake horsepower four-wheel drive. It's a fantastic bit of kit. But that general driver engagement, I think, is really, really great. And certainly coming from just driving a normal car, which will roll, potentially be a little bit louder in some cases, which is a bit strange with wind noise, obviously not a VW. Yeah, you really do appreciate it more. And it's certainly once I've got back into this car, after doing those journeys for sort of 1 or 2 days, I then really appreciate how, like, the qualities of this car, because I just get used to it after a while. I use it daily. It's my only real car generally that I use, so sort of having that, this it's a top quality car. And if you could, if you can only have one car, this will kind of keep up, and it'll kind of do it all. It's absolutely brilliant at that. Start the new year, you never really know what's going to happen, and I always spend my time, I'll always look at the used market and see what cars are out there. And I was actually having a little bit of time looking at a BMW M2, just as sort of like an interesting thing with the competition coming out. Once cars hit like 3 years old, they relatively come down in price. I saw a BMW M2 up for about £29,000, which is really, really good, to be fair. 16 plate, 30,000 miles. And I was kind of thinking, could that be a car to even replace the Golf R? I should stress, I'm not really interested in changing this car. I absolutely love it. It's just my general auto trader, while you're bored, kind of searching through stuff. And to be honest, I think it's a fantastic car. I mean, it's almost like a Porsche Cayman rival, whilst still retaining some practicality. Talk about where do you go from a Golf R kind of thing. I think in truth it would never really work, because space in a 2 Series isn't anywhere near as good as this. Running costs are far higher. I mean, those rear tyres on a M2, I mean, God knows how much they cost to replace, even sort of like basic ones. That's what I love about this Golf R so much. The maintenance and running costs of it has not really been too different from my last Fiesta ST, which I think is a massive credit to the car. It runs 18-inch Cadiz wheels, so the tyres to replace on it aren't going to cost more than sort of around £100 for some decent ones. £109 I think it is for like Michelin PS4s. General servicing has been really, really good on this car, so I've done sort of like a video on that before, where if you've got sort of like a proper full-on M car, people, they'll think you can afford that kind of car, and they'll charge you for it. I've got a friend who does have an M2, and I think for like the first 1,200 mile service, it's something like £340, which is just ridiculous. Bear in mind, you've just spent like 45-50 grand on a brand new M2, and then that comes along. And yeah, they'll just think you can afford an M2, so you can afford whatever we want to charge you. And that's what I quite like about the Golf R. Although it's the top of the range sort of a VW, they don't necessarily kill you for having a car which is top of the range. which I like. I don't actually think servicing sort of schedules and bits like that are too much different to a Golf GTI. It's essentially the same engine with a bit of an ECU tweak and a bigger turbo. Again, people might know a little bit more differences in terms of the engine and how it produces more power. But there isn't actually, you know, a massive amount of difference. It's the same car, it's the same chassis. It shouldn't be too much difference in terms of how much it costs. And I like that quite a lot. It means it's more livable. It means I can use it as my daily a lot better. You know, I'll have obviously another service sort of midway part this year. I probably will have to change my tyres all round. You know, with the miles that I'm coming up to, tread seems okay for me. I've sort of always run my sort of finger around it, and you know, there's no real issues. I'm pretty sure I can get relatively close to 20,000 miles. I know subscribers have commented and sort of said that's kind of what they've sort of seen as well. I think it distributes it okay as well, although the rears will be slightly more tread. I will replace all four. Still got summer tyres on the car, and it is very cold, and it does make things a little bit more slippery and actually a bit more entertaining. But yeah, with that amount of power, you can still hurdle up to speeds at the same time. But don't think just because you've got a four-wheel drive car that you can brake any quicker because of it. You know, four-wheel drive's only going to help you around corners, it's only going to help you around getting up to speed. It's not going to help you when stopping. Obviously, the brakes will, tyres are a big part of it. This car stops, it stops strong. And I'd love to see what it's like on winter tyres, actually. I'm interested to know if anyone has actually got theirs and they sort of change the tyres sort of during these kind of conditions, sort of through sort of back end of October through to, I guess, early March in the UK. You know, when it's temperatures sort of regularly below sort of 6-7 degrees. Today it's proper cold, actually. And you know, I haven't had like major issues, but you know, you certainly do notice you don't have that grip, whether you've got a four-wheel drive car or not. And on that topic, there's some great videos as well, and I'll put a link either up above my head from a channel called Tyre Reviews, which is really, really great. It will sort of show a four-wheel drive car on summer tyres against like a front-wheel drive car on winter tyres, and basically the car on winter tyres just destroys it. Going back to the M2, if you stuck that on winter tyres or any kind of high-performance car, you should be okay. Don't get me wrong, a lot of power through the rear wheels is always going to cause issues in slippery conditions, but tyres are crucial. I'm certainly looking forward to actually getting off these Potenzas, as you know, I haven't had major issues with them, but I've heard such good things about the PS4s, and I really want to stick them on and try it out. So there we go, just a bit of a random update. Start of the year. You know, looking forward to driving the Golf R again. I think it's going to get colder. I've said before. See how it performs a little bit, maybe in the snow. It's always good fun. I haven't washed the car in, it must be the longest period I've gone since I've started getting a few new products and stuff like that. Maybe sort of over a month, 6 weeks. I haven't really washed it other than the wheels, and I polished the exhausts. But it's amazing in this colour. I've done a few pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. It still looks shiny. It still retains that shine. I don't know if it's just because of the stuff I've been using or that paint kind of helps it. It really hides the dirt well. I mean, it's only when you go up really, really close to the car that you can really see the dirt, and yeah, it is absolutely filthy. The lights get quite filthy as well, which is obviously quite important when you're driving at night to sort that out. So I'll give it a clean probably this weekend, just to clean it up a little bit. But yeah, grey paint, thumbs up on that one, because yeah, you can't always wash your car every 5 minutes, sadly, in a busy lives we kind of live. Certainly during the winter months, it's so difficult because it's just filthy. The roads are horrible. Yeah, it's difficult to kind of keep that kind of stuff up. But this has done really, really well. Other than that, yeah. So just a bit of a general update on the car. You know, more videos to come. Sort of, I've still got more plans kind of for 2019. I mentioned before doing some sort of maybe some sort of SAM-A meet and greet or something like that. I'll probably call it if if that kind of makes any sense, and do a meet up maybe with people who also have Golf Rs, or maybe even generally a Golf, or just want to turn up. I've got an idea of where I can do it on part of my fun drive route. It's sort of like a pub at the start, obviously not for drinking if you're driving, but yeah, and you can fit loads of cars along there, and it's absolutely dead quite easily because people park there all the time. So yeah, I'll put that in, probably looking maybe at February. But what I'll do is, on my YouTube channel, you've got like a discussions bit or section. I'll put a screenshot of where I am now, of where that is. I might put something in there on the maybe dates and times and stuff like that, and see if people fancy turning up. Other than that, I'll stick it in a video to say we'll do something. But yeah, that'll be the main thing, you know. Again, as I've said before, great to kind of meet you guys. Yeah, and just share your thoughts on the Golf R, because there's always things to learn. It's such a special car, and I love how it's a usable daily car as well as a weekend blast, and you know, it's got so much going for it. And yeah, I hope you kind of enjoy the videos that I'm going to share with you, and previous videos that I've done in the past. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. You know, please drop a comment and give it a like if you've enjoyed this video, and share it across the community. That's the main thing. I'm trying to help people in general. You know, I suppose this is kind of like an easier to watch than sort of maybe going on the forums all the time, and you can also communicate as part of it as well. That's kind of where I'm kind of going with the ownership side of things. But yeah, sharing is a big part of sort of building the channel, and hopefully building the knowledge base as well around sort of the Golf R, be it Mark 7 or a facelift 7.5. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great 2019 now that we've started it, a couple of days into it now. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Cheers, guys.